Hey guys, welcome to the second new device of this new patch, the attribute trigger device, and allow me to explain this step by step. So as you can read in the description of this device, it monitors a channel and transmits a signal based on various attributes of a player. So what exactly does this mean? It means that we can use this device to check if certain conditions are met before sending a new signal on a channel. So let's do a deep dive in some examples and usage. So throw down the attribute trigger device, and I suggest we scroll down first to the most important option of this device, the listen to channel option. This is the option we're going to use to say exactly when it needs to validate. Validate what exactly? Validate the options that we set above. So scroll back up and let's see. The first two options are to specify if this trigger is for a specific team or for a class. Under that, we see the first really interesting validation rule we can set, the minimum player eliminations. This allows us for the first time ever to check if a player has an amount of kills. We can use this for scenarios like adding a message when a player is X amount of kills away from winning, or even go to a very advanced arsenal mechanism, where players get better or different weapons as they continue through the map and get more kills for a PvP type map. But don't worry, puzzle and adventure maps, we can also set a player score option that allows us to specify how much score the player needs before a signal is sent on a channel, making it a lot easier to set up systems that require us to collect X amount of collectible items, or before being able to continue, or get a score of X in a target practice game before you can actually go to the next room. The last option I want to go over are the if all checks are valid, transmit on, and the if a check is invalid, transmit on options. You have to think of the listen to channel option as the input, and it will activate the validation. Then the all checks are valid and the check is invalid are the output. So let me set up this example of collectibles to better clarify myself. Let's say you have a room with a locked door. You can lock the door by adding the lock device to it and setting the starts locked value to yes and the unlock when receiving from and open when receiving from to channel 1. Next up, we'll throw down a collectibles gallery. Delete everything except for the pumpkin. It is Halloween after all. And we can leave all options as is, except for the very last one, the when collected, transmit on, and set this to channel 2. And we'll copy it 4 more times around the room. So what do we have so far? 5 pumpkins that all transmit to channel 2 when picked up, which doesn't do anything yet. And the door that opens when receiving from channel 1, which isn't attached to anything yet either. So now finally throw down the new attribute trigger to bind all of these things together. Set the minimum player score to 5, as we have 5 pumpkins, and make it listen to channel 2, which get called every time a pumpkin is picked up. And the if all checks are valid, transmit on to channel 1, which will open the door. Now lastly, for demo purpose, let's add a channel to the if a check is invalid, transmit on, and bind this channel to a HUD message device. They'll say something like, collect more pumpkins to open the door, or whatever you want to inform the player about. Now when you start the game, every time you pick up a pumpkin, a signal is sent on channel 2, which will show the message. And when you have all pumpkins, ta-da, the door will open. I know that a system like this was kind of already possible before by using a music sequencer and a trigger, but it was a lot more complex, and I hope that this example just helps you get a better understanding of how exactly this device works. More tutorials on the other new devices are coming soon, so hit that subscribe button, leave a like and a comment with any questions, and I'll see you guys soon.